I've got a bad feeling about this. Of course, I've always got a bad feeling about this. Could you just go ahead and place me in a hard case?
Whoa. There was someone or something on the other side of this stream. I wonder if it's Mantis. I need to be careful. Sounds like he's in a homicidal mood. Part of the bridge has collapsed, and I shouldn't even think about trying to swim across that water. Part of the bridge has collapsed, and I shouldn't even think about trying. Sign says the water's toxic, but how dangerous could it be?
Has there ever been a bigger idiot than you?
Well, this'll come in handy. Well, that might come in handy. What kind of creatures was Margaret keeping in captivity? It's a plank. You know, I've always thought that wood is a key ingredient to starting any fire. Yeah, I've never really been interested in yard work. It's an Ultra Pro 900 lock. I'll need to find the key before I can open this, and it's probably in the house. That man over there could be Mantis. Looks like I'll need 5 planks, a hammer, and some nails if I'm going to repair this ladder.
Why does this have to be so heavy? Nice.
Now I could use that. Someone's watching me, and it's making me feel incredibly uneasy. Bucket of nails is always helpful when you want to fix something.
Dear God. I gotta admit, sometimes when you play God, things turn out okay.
It's a Mike and Ike Hammer candy comic, Cinnamon Twist. I'll put this in my comic book rack back at the office. Now, I fixed it, and it appears to be some sort of ladder. Locked. There's a card reader on the side of the front door. I'll need to use an RFID card before I can enter. Nice place she's got here. Creepy, but nice. It's like an old frat house out here. Milk drinkers? Man, that explains a lot. This card could be used to get in the front door.
I'm a Morlock hunter. Hunter, let's go get those bastards.
Liar! Liar!
Me, friend. You, Morlock.
Ah! Friend? Slave! Killer!
I'm sorry. Is there something I can do to help you? Glass of water, a donut?
Get it out of my head!
So, maybe some medication for you?
Help me! Slave! Die! Die!
Kids, they never shut the door when they go out to play.
That must be Mantis, and my guess is Margaret Leonard left some medication to control his affliction somewhere in the swamp house. Looks like there could be something hiding underneath this dirt. It's a big sack of seeds. Ah, the XBR 1000 greenhouse light. It sure grows plants fast, but the FDA banned them because of excess radiation. Yep, garden shears are perfect for trimming grass, bushes, or stubborn branches. I wonder if there's a way to get these valerian flowers to grow quickly. Nice chest. Like an ike hammer. Sucker's game. I never cared for pliers. Got lots of bad dental memories. Books? Do people still read these? Man, I am making great time. This thing hasn't even moved. Got it. Man, that is one big jackalope. You know, couches are really pointless unless there's a TV. That footrest is so fancy, I wouldn't dare place my feet on it. I'll bet this would have been worth a lot of money on Antiques Roadshow if they hadn't refinished it in white. Yeah, there's more to this world than meets the eye. Well, another matchbook to add to my collection. Very handy when you're venturing into public bathrooms. The zipper on this cushion's stuck. I'll need something to help me open it. It's a safe key. You know, I love secret doors, and something in this room must trigger it open. The cabinet lock is broken, so I'll need to find another way to open it. I bet this could increase my defense by +5. Something big just moved, and there's smoke coming out from behind the panel. The picture looks similar to the one downstairs, except the one downstairs had 3 numbers on it. Security card. What's a pot? For planting seeds. You know, I love secret doors, and something in this room must trigger it open. I need to unscrew that cog from the wall before I can repair it. Well, I know tongs are great for pulling my chestnuts out of the fire. Oh, I love sticky notes, and I just used my last one. Wait, something's written on this one. This key belongs to an Ultra Pro 900 lock. Crap alarm. I've always wanted one of these. They're good for reaching items just out of my grasp or in a dangerous situation. It's an empty vial.
First message.
Margaret, we followed your instructions and combined the valerian flower petals with alcohol in a vial, placed it in the chemical mixer, then administered the serum to the subjects via syringe. However, this only momentarily suppressed rage in the Morlocks. There needs to be a more permanent solution.
There are no more messages.
Oh, someone's writing their letter to Santa early this year. Another table. Whoops. Yeah, talking to myself again. The Mike and Ike Hammer Candy comic, Double Fudge Indemnity. I'll put this in my comic book rack back at the office. Ah, it's open to the centerfold.
I know what you're thinking, and that's not a good idea.
Oh, it's C4 chewing gum. This stuff packs quite a wallop, but oh, it is grape. I love grape flavor. On second thought, I better find another use for this. Looks like the shed Grandpa Murphy used to keep his moonshine business in. Rook uses one of those to chase the neighborhood kids off. Looks like the shed Grandpa Murphy... I wish I had one of these in my office. Now, all I need is a torch to go along with that, and we will storm the castle! Is this? It is. It's actual moonshine. Fertilizer that looks as good as it smells. Oof. That's real moonshine, with a high enough alcohol content to make you go blind for 3 days. Margaret must have been a girl who could hold her liquor.
Hey, it worked!
Well, that was stupid. I need something to cut off a valerian blossom. might come in handy. Maybe that was a little overkill, but was effective. I'm sure Thor's big hammer here could straighten a few things out.
I'm experiencing a sensation altogether new to me, and frankly, I love it.
The cog's fixed and ready to be put back. Wow, that Morlock is a lethal hazard. But it's energy driven, so maybe I could short circuit him somehow, like getting him wet. This drain perfectly symbolizes my life. It's a card reader, and I'll need the electricity to be on for it to work. Yeah, Margaret made sure this place was soundproof.
I've assembled the spirit radio. Tonight will be my first attempt to contact my husband. The radio is working. I hear voices that are incoherent, eerie, and tantalizing. There must be some way to amplify the power. My last attempt was a near disaster, similar to what happened to Tesla back in 1899. The frequency caused a vibration that increased until I thought the house would split in two. I had to smash the radio. Now I have to start all over. I don't want to get my hopes too high, but I believe I've made contact. I brought the radio into the lab, and I swear that being close to Charles's cryo chamber has intensified the signal. I'm sure it's his voice, but I can't understand what he's saying. I've recorded hours of the voice and had experts analyze the audio from every angle. We've deciphered 3 words: void, return, immortal. I've reached an impasse. I wonder if the Tesla egg, could it amplify the radio's power? It's been weeks since I've heard Charles's voice on the spirit radio. I wonder if the Gideon parasites have moved ahead without me and brought him back to life. It's been years since I made an entry in this video journal. Charles is dead, and lost to me forever. And I will die soon. The translator lives, and one way or another, whoever sees this, Mantis, Mason, it's up to you to stop the translator.
Stopping the translator isn't going to be easy, and the Tesla, Egg, and Spirit radio seem to be the keys. Somehow, the information Margaret Leonard took to the grave needs to be uncovered. Is that even possible? I have an eerie feeling it is. The glass is shattered. Was something trying to get in or out? Looks like something unethical happened in here. This machine monitors electrical activity in your heart. Now there's something you don't typically see in a residential home. That's the interocitor IQ measurement system. I should try this baby out and see what a genius I am.
Don't text. You may not like what you find. Dr. Zaius was right. A man like you is inferior to the simian in every way.
There's more books in here than in my county library. Cursed government spending cuts.
Ding, 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 ding! We have a winner! I gotta admit, sometimes when you play God, things turn out okay.
Well, hell, that ought to do it. This medicine should control Mantis's pain. I waited near the front door, ready for him to show up, but not as ready as I should have been.
Sorry. I can't control it.
Well, I hadn't even noticed because you hide it so well. You're the one that prays, aren't you?
Yes. I am Mantis.
Praying Mantis? Oh, I am losing my touch. Any PI with a salt would have figured that one out.
That was Margaret's code. So she did send you. It just seems strange she took such a risk coming to see you, so she could give you the injection.
How do you know about that?
Because I was there, and she wanted you to forget everything you had done.
Yeah, well, she pretty much accomplished that.
Yeah. And here you are. Seems kind of strange.
Strange? You know what I find strange? I saw a video of Margaret torturing you.
She wasn't torturing me. She had been helping me for a very long time.
But you're a Morlock. She made you this way.
You can't blame her. I chose this path. I volunteered to take one of the greatest technological leaps of all time, crowd technology. I was one of the founding members of the Tesla Legacy Society. Along with others, I allowed myself to die and be brought back. We dreamed of waking to a world reborn. But we found ourselves worse off than before. And worst of all, we no longer were the people we had been. The cryosleep had unforeseen complications.
Well, at least cryogenics is now partially covered under major medical.
Only a few of us escaped the physical deformities from the freeze. Worse is what it did to our minds. Drove us to madness.
So how come the Tesla Society hasn't taken care of you guys? Certainly the burden shouldn't just fall on Margaret.
The Tesla Legacy Society and its creations are no more.
So what happened? I mean, I know a little of your history since Charles Johansson joined you.
Johansson. I believed in him once. He was our martyr. We carried his work to the foot of his holy cryo chamber. We knew that one day he would return to take us to this glorious future.
And he did return.
Yeah, he was now the translator. He was delusional only as the greatest zealots are. He believed he knew the will of Tesla. He was going to create a gateway, a celestial conduit between heaven and earth. He called it the immortal coil.
Gotcha.
He was determined to build it at any cost. And in the end, we banished him from the society. But he didn't stay banished. Months later, he returned with a small group of men, led by the one known as Slade. They attacked the facility, sparing no one. I saw Slade himself put a gun to my wife's head while she begged for her life, and he pulled the trigger. When it was over, they removed every trace of the Tesla Legacy Society. Its files, its equipment. There was only one thing left behind.
And that was?
A key bit of information. The spirit radio frequencies. They were stored in the clouds that Charles never knew about.
And these were important.
It may be the only way to stop Charles from activating the immortal coil.
And that would be bad?
It's very bad. As in splitting the planet in two bad. I'll tell you where to find the egg. But I need you to find those frequencies first.
Before I head off to the Tesla Legacy Society, I get a call from Thompson Auld inviting me over to his house. Sounds like he's ready to talk.
Any luck locating the spirit radio?
I've got some leads, but it all seems to tie to something called the immortal coil.
I found something that you might find interesting. They did some experiments with interfacing brain circuitry. You might have been one of the first test subjects.
I'm sorry.
Memories are simply electronic impulses, and we are the sum of our memories. Now, on a cellular level, you're a completely different person than you were 7 years ago. But your essence is exactly the same as it was that night with Chelsea outside of the Golden Pagoda.
How do you know about Chelsea?
Well, first, and you may already know this, Chelsea is Margaret Leonard's daughter. Now, Margaret had lost her husband, and she was overwhelmed. So she put Chelsea in the care of a mutant family, the Bandos, and then tried to forget that she'd ever had a child.
That's pretty cold.
Well, it was a decision that she's regretted for decades. And years later, when she found Chelsea living at the Ritz, she rented a room so she could be close, but never revealed her true identity.
Yeah, and that's why we got abducted.
Now, Margaret was being funded by Gideon Enterprises, and an opportunistic manager named Dalton Fisk found out that Margaret's husband had stolen some very important documents.
The Tesla cache.
Dalton tried forcing Margaret into reanimating Charles, but she refused and disappeared. But then Dalton discovered that she had a daughter, and he came after her. Now, I don't know if her memory has been manipulated or if it's so painful that she can't share it, but I do know that she's left her old life behind.
So Chelsea's alive? And you know that for sure?
I do. She's my wife.
You married my girlfriend?
Mason asked me to look after her for protection. Which reminds me, I meant to get you the canister.
Whoa, wait a second. I mean, you're gonna finish this, right? There's other parts of the story?
Margaret didn't want to know where she had gone. Chelsea needed someone, and we grew quite fond of each other. We had a good life together. But you see, I'd been in love with someone who couldn't return my feelings, and so I'd come to accept my bachelorhood. But you know, somehow, marrying Chelsea just felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah, but I'm in love with Chelsea, and you're married to her. What happens next?
I'll tell you what happens now. How about we go get that cryo chamber with old Maggie's head in it?
We can't let him have it.
Oh, hold on, partner there. No need to get violent or anything. Let's just see if we can work this out, okay?
God. Oh, up there, is it?
You're hurt pretty bad. We've got to get you to the hospital.
No, you have to stop him. If they get inside her head, it will undo everything that Mason was fighting for.
Look, I know what they're after, and I think I can beat them to it. It's the Tesla egg, so let's just get you out of here.
Go! Go!
You're coming with me. Come on.
I couldn't shake the look of fear I saw in Alt's eyes as he was lying in a pool of his own blood. Slade had blown a hole through the little man without even a second thought. Could I really have been partners with someone like that? Maybe I did change over the last 7 years, but if I did, it has to be possible to change back. I need a weapon I can use against these psychopaths. I knew my only hope was somewhere at the Tesla Institute. Slade's trumped me at every corner, but the ace may be at Tesla.